Good morning and welcome to day 14 of 30 Days with Chrissie B. Now, today I thought I would show you how to make my absolute favorite chili. It is so freaking easy, and it's the one thing that I know that no matter how bad a day my husband has, he will eat this chili, and if I'm not careful, he will eat the whole container without me knowing. So I thought I would show you how to do it, and believe me, it is super simple. So let me show you what you need for this. Okay, so you may need a few ingredients, but what I have here, you can pretty much mix this up however you want. Use what you have on hand. I'm always big in my recipes that way. And just so you know, I don't generally use a recipe, I just kind of make things up on the spot. That's just kind of how I roll. But I like to put in 1 can of chili, 1 can of diced tomatoes with green chilies and spices, 1 can of chili beans. I like to try to get all of my stuff low sodium if I can find it. I put whole kernel corn, no salt added, and I put some spaghetti sauce of some sort. I will use an onion, 2 peppers. I like to put 3 or 4 in, but I only had 2 today, so 2 is what it's gonna be today. I'm gonna use some mild hot sauce, some extra lean ground beef, and I'm gonna use some gluten-free taco seasoning, and some butter. So the first thing I'm going to do before I get started, I'm going to dice up all of my vegetables. And the first thing I'm going to do before I get started is I'm going to dice up all of my vegetables. I'm going to use this entire onion. And I've gotten myself a bowl to put all of my garbage in. Now, while I'm dicing my onion up, I put about a 1/4 stick of butter into my stock pan. And I want to just heat that up on medium heat. And then I'm going to dice my onion up pretty chunky. I'm gonna let this cook for quite a while, so I don't want to cook the onions too small, otherwise they'll just dissolve into nothing. And I want this to feel really hearty. Okay, I'm gonna throw these all into my stock pot. Next, I'm going to dice up my bell peppers. Now, I don't know the right way to do this, I just kind of do this my own way. So, the way that I do this is I just take it from the bottom and work to the top, just to kind of slice down each of these little ridges. Make sure it goes all the way down. I'll do that with both. It doesn't have to be perfect. I'm just trying to get it off of the seed pod that is inside of it. So grab your bowl, and I just peel off each of the little sections as if it was like a leaf or something. And then just dump the seed pod into the garbage bowl. I take as much of this white off as I can, and I try to get rid of all the seeds. But if you can't get all of them off, it's not important, it doesn't matter. I'll do the same thing with the other one. And like I said, I usually use 4 of these at minimum, but this will work out really well too. Now, once you've got as much of the white off as you can without touching too much, I just kind of strip them and then chunk them. Again, you want these to be kind of big pieces. We want it to be a really hearty stew. Okay, so now all of your veg are ready. We're gonna come over here and look onto the onions, and I will also open all of my canned goods so that eventually I'll be able to just dump it all in. My onions are looking good. I'm just gonna kind of mix them into, I really wanna just get them really softened up, and if they brown up a little bit, that's excellent. And this may take a few minutes. So while we're waiting for that to brown up, I will go ahead and open all of my canned goods. Okay, so my onions are coming along nicely. They're starting to brown just a little bit. So I'm gonna go ahead and add my lean ground beef. And I'm gonna break it up once I get it in there. The goal here is to get the beef nice and small and to get everything nice and brown. Okay, now that that's all incorporated and broken up really well, I'm going to put a lid on top of this so that it can steam the meat brown, and it can also steam the onions a little bit softer. You want them to be a little more translucent. That will just take just a few minutes. Okay, I think that should be ready to go. Let's take a peek. Yep, we're looking good. Okay, so this next few steps is why this chili is so easy to do. Because essentially you've already done all the hard work up to this point. All you're gonna do is dump all the rest of your ingredients in one by one. And I'm gonna start with the bell peppers. And trying to get as much of it into the pan as possible. Now the rest of the ingredients could just be dumped in. There's no specific order that has to be dumped in. I'm gonna do the chili beans next. Don't drain them. You want the flavor from the chili bean juice. I do strain my corn, so that is dry. Let's see if I can get all that out. We're going to do the diced tomatoes. Don't strain that either. I am at the last of my salsa, so I added a little bit of water to it just to get all the rest out. I don't want to waste any of that. Any of that goodness. I'm gonna add the 1 can of chili. This might need a little bit of coaxing to get out. Grab a spoon and help it go to the promised land. Now you're gonna add the tomato sauce, the spaghetti sauce, however you want. It could be whatever brand you want. I am going to, there's a lot of tomato sauce left in there, so I'm gonna run some water in there and just make sure I get it all out and dump that all in. Okay, just give that a really good shake and all of this tomato sauce will be out. We do not like to waste. Last thing is you wanna put your taco seasoning. This happens to be gluten-free, it doesn't matter what kind you use, it all will work. And if you want a little bit spicier, you could add jalapenos or whatever you like to it, but really you just kind of cater this to your family's taste. Give it a little bit of a stir, make sure everything is all mixed together. Now you just want to wait for that to have little bubbles in it. Not quite a full boil, but you want to see some bubbles in it. I can hear it starting to simmer. You can see some itty bitty little tiny bubbles happening. We're almost ready. Okay, now if you look, you can see that they're kind of popping now. They're not just little tiny bubbles. The surface is now actually popping bubbles. So I think we're ready to go. All you need to do is put a tight fitting lid onto your pan, turn it down to low, and you're gonna let that sit for an hour. And trust me, it's gonna be so delicious. Now while we're waiting for that to do its magic, I'm gonna go ahead and clean up the kitchen and I'll be back in an hour. Okay, well it's been an hour, let's take a peek. That looks good. Now at this point it's ready to serve up. I kind of like to let it cool down just a little bit, but my husband likes it right away, so let's go ahead and serve him up a bowl.
Ooh yeah.
Let me get him a bowl. And just scoop it out. I'll put a little bit of cheese on that and a little bit of sour cream. And that is how I would serve it to him. This is one of his absolute favorite meals. I cannot go wrong with it. So there you have it, the world's easiest chili. Now this is one of my absolute favorite things to make on a really busy night, especially a cold night in the fall. It just warms you up down to your little tippy toes, and it's just so easy to make. I can come home, throw everything into a pot, put a lid on it, walk away, and for the last hour I've been packing and doing other chores while I've been waiting for this to finish. Now that it's done, I'm actually now hungry, so it is perfect timing. I hope you enjoyed that. Let me know if you make it down in the comment section down below. If you add anything, take anything away from it, I'd be curious to hear your thoughts. And I will see you tomorrow. Bye for now.